we are live. Welcome to another Tuesday Live, and it's my pleasure to welcome you who missed me. Oh, yes, so today is going to be a very brief conversation, and that's because my network time, but I'll try, right? Okay, so thank you for joining me, and um, and thank you for your patience while I was trying to reconnect back. Today is today, but because of last week network glitch, which I know that many people that wanted to watch that conversation, someone actually asked for the video, and I couldn't share simply because the video was interrupted and it was half and half. So I decided to come back and just do a quick 30 minutes conversation on this subject matter, because I know that it's something that many people want to hear about. Okay, so pardon me when my network kicks me out, I'll kick it back and then I'll be back. Hopefully we'll be able to have a meaningful conversation today. So thank you for everyone joining me. Thank you, Uncle Em. I can see you in the comment section. Thank you for joining me, for always tuning in. You're one of our loyal viewers and audience, and I truly appreciate. Okay, so a lot of things has happened over the course of last week, and I know that some of us are also following trends. Someone is getting married. We have the likes of Gege. I don't know what that means, but that's what he calls himself. And we also have the one they call Bella and Jarvis, whatever they are called, and they also getting married. All right, so in all of these cases, I started pondering. I said, what kind of marriage are these two sets of people going to have? Because you can see clearly from the beginning that this marriage, you don't really get K-leg by the way it started. All right, so you have the like of Gege, where he has been preaching against marriage. He has been condemning marriage. He has been speaking down on women. He has been calling women names, all sorts of names. How women are gold diggers. They are this, they are that. They should not even just gold diggers. They are this, they are that. And he actually got followers. Okay, so I'm back. Yeah. So I was saying that with the way the whole marriage thing, both the Gege and the Pella, you could already see that this was I see that marriage as a joke. I don't know about others. I see it like a joke. Because, there is no even foundation. Let's not even talk about foundation. Talk more of the foundation being strong or not. Someone talking down on women because he wants to cash out on social media, gets content creation money. He was abusive. He was looking like a mad person, to the best of my knowledge. Because tell me why you're wearing singlets and boxers, something that is supposedly an underwear. You're wearing it and you're using it to create content on a regular. That's like an everyday thing for you. And on the other hand, you have Bella, who is so ignorant. I don't know so much about him, and I don't really care because I have no interest in him. With the young girl, this is just young. I'm not saying that young people can't marry and make it work. I married early, and I am an advocate of it. That's what I'm called. I am called coach of early marriage. But not without knowledge, not without counsel, not without guidance, not without skills. You can't just marry because you just feel like you want to marry. Because the whole marriage is looking like an arranged kind of marriage where you just want to use it to achieve a particular aim. Maybe you win some money, like he has won some money already from people, for impression, for whatever reason, for content. People can actually marry for content these days. People can marry for content. So are you marrying for content, or are you marrying for the right reasons? Those are the concerns I started having this week. And I started pondering. I said, what's going to be the fate? Because you know what happens, people are watching them, people are going to be taking cue from them, people are going to be wishing they were like them. Just so messed up that you could be the society that worships money. Because trust me, this whole thing is to teach younger people, to encourage them. Because the idea of just marrying to fulfill all righteousness is crazy. Marriage is too deep. Marriage is such a big deal. Marriage is such a sacred thing to do, you know, in a way of crassness, in a way of anyhowness, like my coach would say, in the way of let's just do it. If it doesn't work, we go our separate ways. How do you go from criticizing women and killing them with your mouth and saying if you ever marry that you are being possessed with juju and all that? For people who are not Nigerians, juju is just like a herbal thing that you go and do to charm, like a charm, to use someone to control someone with, and that they should carry him and go and flog him and flog out that charm. To now someone who is worshiping a woman like an idol, who is licking her feet, who is tying her shoelace, who is arranging her hair, and then you tell. So now that your online coach, because this one is not rich to call coach, it's coach. Now that your online coach have deceived you into believing that marriage. Okay, so I'm back. Like I already warned you that today is not going to be very, very easy because of my network. Yes, so I'm back. So now that we've talked about the happenings, let's now discuss why we. Okay, I don't know what to do with this network. Honestly, it's just something else today. Today's network palaver. Okay, I think this is better now. Thank you everyone once again. So let's quickly look at those 3 critical questions I said the man needs to answer before you say yes to him in terms of dating him. And it's not just that he will answer, the answer will even, in fact, the first question might be the only question you will ask that particular man. You know why? His responses will tell you whether to continue in that conversation or not. His responses will tell you whether there is hope for you or not. His responses can tell you whether you should go ahead with accepting that request or not. Because if you just go on with the fact that, oh, this person is just nice, is good, you don't even scrutinize, you don't go on to find out what's in them, what's about them that makes you click, that makes you want, then you're going to end up with someone that you had no business being with. So that's why it's important for every woman listening to me to go and ask these questions. It takes a lot of courage, trust me, but asking them will save you a lot of heartbreak, a lot of stress, a lot of baggages that you might be carrying all through your life, because you're not going to be in the place where you are mending up the brokenness of your heart, mending up the shattered and battered hearts that you now have. So number 1 question is, why do you want us to date? Like I said, are you dating for recreation, that is for fun, for pleasure, for play, as a kind of sport, or are you asking us to date because you have somewhere in your head, even if you've not confirmed it, let it be that it's at least in your heart that I want to marry, and that's why I'm going into this. So you're not going in with supposedly the right person already. You are going in to say, is this the right person for me? And if it's the right person, then you don't proceed to making further commitments like courtship before marriage. So ask the person, is this thing we are doing, is it for recreation, or Is it for fun or is it for marriage? Because if it is for recreation, if you're just friends, that means there is no plan of marriage, and you cannot be dating. If you want to ever marry, you cannot date without having marriage in your plans. You can't. And that's the mistake that a lot of people make. You just want to go by the feelings, by the normal way of doing things. You don't have standards, you don't have values, you don't have vision, you don't have mission, you don't have anything. You are just floating. So if a man is answering that question with something like, let's just be going, all right, he's just saying the reason is just for us to have fun, you already know that that's a red flag. Especially since you are listening to me, I want to believe that you believe in marriage and you believe in God's design for marriage, a man and a woman. So imagine that the woman just, you are just allowed to do whatever you like and all. What kind of life do you think you're going to have? So that's why you need to ask this question. And every reasonable man will be ready and willing and out, so that to make sure that the relationship works. They will give their all, they will give everything to make sure that the relationship works. They're not going to hold back anything. They're not going to withdraw anything. They will. Okay, so we are back. So I was saying that the man who would feel awkward about you asking a question is not even the right man, because the man should also have his own questions that he wants to ask you. So if you are not paying attention to the things you need to ask or to the things you need to say, then you'll be setting yourself up for massive heartbreak, because you can't come into the marriage after you have already gone in darkness, in blindness, and come and start saying, oh, I've seen this, I've seen that. Whatever you are seeing is not it, because you should have seen it before we got in. The tell signs are always there. It's just you that refuse to see them. So ensure that you ask this question, and not just ask. Ensure that you listen. Hear what they have to say. Scrutinize it. Digest it. Ask for wisdom on how to navigate. Everything else will align. But if you fail to do this thing, trust me, nothing is going to work. So you need those questions. You need those questions like online dependent. You need to ask them intentionally and ask them with accuracy. Ask them with everything you can think of, so that you will not fall short. Let it even be that you did the bid that you need to do, but things still worked out the way it worked out, than for it to be that you are the one who did not do your due diligence, who did not care about anybody, who picked marriage from the streets and thought that marriage was meant from the streets. No. So the next question: why did why did you end your last relationship, and how did you do it or end it? That is, I know you have ex. What did you do with the ex? Why did you break up with the ex? And a whole lot of other things. Those are the questions, those are the issues, those are the main things. But if you just come and you just start preaching, it doesn't work at all. So tell us how your last relationship ended. Tell her. Let him tell you, lady, because you need to know. If you are not trying to insult, you are not trying to gossip, you are just trying to make sure that patterns doesn't repeat itself, because pattern can repeat itself again. So don't be in that place where you are close-minded and thinking, oh, the past should be in the past. I'm not saying go and dig up past, but if you don't deal with patterns, it will keep repeating itself. A man is his patterns. So don't just marry for the potential. Oh, potential is good, is beautiful, but you can also do it yourself. You can also become useful to yourself. So it's not a question of whether you marry or not for you to be rich. Okay? So ensure that you know why you are even getting into that marriage. Don't just get in casually, or you'll be a casualty like we've seen in many. Don't come in casually so you don't become a casualty. So the third question is, how long do you want to date before you consider marriage? Because some people date endlessly. You have been dating this person without any plan. So from beginning, let us talk about it. Let us agree. This is how long we're going to date. This is how long we're going to speak. All right? So don't just leave it to chance. Don't just say, okay, let us be going. No, find out. Do you want to marry this year? It's not that the person must give you the exact date, but let them at least show the commitment. If the person says, okay, I'm trying to observe how we get to know each other better, and in 2 months or 3 months we need to now begin to court and get towards marriage. But if the person is saying things like, when you ask them, how long do you want your date to last, say, when we get there, we'll cross the bridge, and don't worry yourself, when we get there, we'll cross. No, we are not crossing the bridge. Let us cross it before we get there. That's what wise people do. Because even the Bible said that a wise man sees danger afar off, and he takes another way. But the simple, who is also called the foolish one, goes and enters into it and gets born. So don't let yourself get burnt first. Don't let yourself suffer heartbreak first. Don't let yourself deal with issues you had no business dealing with. Don't be too open to everybody. Stop being accessible to everybody. You're walking on the street, someone is asking you of your number, you're giving it to them. That's a breach of your privacy. And I'm not talking about maybe someone you've known before, or a classmate that you knew primary school and just bumped into. I'm talking about random strangers. You just go ahead and give, because in your head, good things don't come easy, and anybody that comes, oh, let's just go. You are destroying your life. You are destroying your life. So ensure that these 3 key critical questions are asked. Anybody you date, if you come to person 1 and the person 1, after hearing it, feels they are too serious, they can go. If person 2 thinks that, okay, there's some mistake he wants to go and correct, and he carries and what he wants to correct, and he goes, and then that's it. You cannot live your life like that. There has to be meaning attached to your life. There has to be. Your life should not revolve around marriage. Your life should revolve around your purpose and God. So don't make marriage your God. So a woman who is healed produces a healthy marriage. So a healthy woman will also produce healthy marriages. And it's even sweeter when the 2 couples are healed, because if one person is healed and the other person is not healed, it's still the same thing. It's just like another part of the body having the sickness you're having. You are still not going to be comfortable. So heal from that emotional wound that you got from your past relationship, from your treatment of your mom, from your child background, from your rejection in school, from so many other things, even rape. So heal from them. Thank you so much for joining me to the end of this conversation. But before I go, let me retreat the questions again. I said the first question you need to ask any man that wants to date is, why do you want us to date? Is it for the recreation, or is it for marriage? Whichever answer they give you, hold on to it. Then you ask them, why did you end your past relationship, and how did you even end it? Those are the things that will strengthen your resolution to know, okay, this person is my husband, this person is not my husband. Because if the way they answer you tells you how they think. As a man thinketh in his heart, so he is. And what we can see is outer bodies. So your inner body is not there to understand all of these things. You are the one to understand it. The third question I said is how long. Of course, the second one has a B part, which is how did it end? Did it end in quarrel or fight? If the man starts saying things like women are scam, women are gold diggers, women are this, run for your life, because it's going to turn you into one also. He will turn you into one. So don't be left out of this conversation. Thank you again for joining me today. I really appreciate everyone who joined until the end of this conversation. I believe that you picked one or two things you can do or apply in your life that will help you become a better person and who God wants you to be. I appreciate you, and it's wonderful doing this with you. We'll see you again next week, Tuesday, and the upper week Tuesday, and all the Tuesdays in August. You know how we do it, yeah? So let's get into it, and let's go and take these questions. Go and ask that guy that is trying to date you. Don't just start dating them and you're already sleeping with them, you're already having all the benefits of husband and wife, you're already cooking for them. All of those things are useless, because at the end of the day, the man can decide to dump you, and you are tarnishing the image of your children without even knowing. So I want you to keep that in mind and ensure that you don't make a mess of your life in the name of dating anybody. All right, so I'll see you again in our next video next week. Thank you for joining me as my guest for today, and my audience. Every single one is highly welcome to the family. Join us again same time next week. I trust God to give us a sound network and a better network signal so that we can be able to stream endlessly, without any kind of problem. So thank